Hello, here's Jean-Pierre from UTC Company Limited. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, UTC Fx. Today we are going to teach you the second part. We are going to give you this practical example of news trading on Rio chart, so that you may have the first arsenal in your armor of making money on Forex. Let's meet after the intro, where we're going to show you the practical example of news trading. Welcome back to our YouTube channel, UTC Fx. Here's Jean-Pierre Muhire. Today, as I said, we are going to show you the practical example on Rio chart on how to make to do news trading. The first strategy we're going to use is just to make money in forex trading if you are a beginner. And I invite you on the live streaming on the 2nd of September, where we're going to do the live streaming in order to show now a live news trading strategy, and we will see together what we will get from this news. But today we are going to use the news which happened just to show you and to prepare you how we will do the live trading on 2nd of September, and I hope you will attend this live event so that you start make money on forex trading. As a forex trader, the first thing you will need to do, whether you are a news scalper or not, since we have seen that the news could affect the market movements or the price movement of any market, the first thing you will need to do, it is to know the markets, the news which will happen on that particular trading day. And as I said, there are many economic websites which have economic calendar. But the popular one, we have told you that it is Forex Factory. It is used by many traders, but if you find another economic calendar, it is totally fine. You can use it, but here we are going to use economic Forex Factory. What you need to do is to go to your browser and fill in www Forex Factory here, like this one. And then hit your enter, and your platform will open. This will open like this. The first thing you will need to do is to synchronize the synchronizations of your watch, the server of the website and your watch. Because you see that the server time, it is now at 3 p.m. Yet on my computer, you see that it is 6:54. So these two watches are different, which means that the time I will get here from the news could be different. Therefore, you need to synchronize these two watches. And how can you do that? You only need to come on this time of the server. You click there. And after you click there, you should know the time zone of where you are. Currently I'm in Kigali, and Kigali it is on GMT plus 2. I will click here and go and press GMT plus 2. If you are in Kenya, for example, it is GMT plus 3. You will need to go and set GMT plus 3. If you are in, for example, in Ghana, where it is on GMT, you will need to go to GMT. If you are, for example, in the USA, you will need to go, for example, to Alaska, GMT minus 8. Then this watch will be synchronized with your time. I'm in Kigali currently, so it is GMT plus 2. So I will take GMT plus 2, and I can decide the time format. I can take PM or 24 hours. You see my time here. Down on the computer it is on PM, so I will choose PM just to do eliminate the necessary confusions. Then I will hit save settings. Once I hit the settings, you see that the watch of the server and the watch of my computer, they are now equal. So I will need to go here on home and click on home, and then I will come back on this news. So if it is opened, you will see, of course, the date here. Today is 23rd Tuesday and of August. It is today, and you will see the news currency here, which had news here. You see, for example, and the time the news was supposed to be released. You see, for example, on 1 a.m. it was in the morning, Kigali time. It was this news of manufacturing, fresh manufacturing PMI of ODI. At 2:30 a.m. there was Japan, and this and so on. You will see the currency and the time of the news could do. The time of the news was supposed to be released here. And if you remember, where we have said that we needed to trade the news with high impact. You see here there is impact, and you see yellow flag, red flag, orange flag. Sometimes we will get even the green, black, brown or black flag. So the yellow flag are the news event which has a low impact on the market price, and the orange flags are the news with medium impact, and the red ones are the news with high impact, which will tend to have high impact in the market. So to see that there are many news events, therefore we can use a filter just to get only the news with high impact. To do so, you only need to go here on filter. If you click there on the filter, you will see the expected impact. Here it is all. So this is the fourth flag, which is black or brown, which we had. I can deactivate it and remain only for the news with high impact. If you remember what we have said, that there are only also 5 major news which tend to move the market, growth like GDP, inflation, and this is the inflation, the employment, and so on. You can even activate only those 5 news only, or you can all leave them. You can even here select the markets. For example, if you are trading only euro and USD, you can, it is not even necessary to get the news of the remaining currencies. You can only remain with activate euro, the news related with euro and USD only. But if you are trading all the market, you can activate all of them. You can filter the market and the impact as you wish. After you finish to make your filter, you hit apply filter, and you see that now the website will show only the news with high impact, which means that if you are a news scalper, we could trade euro today at 9:15 or at 9:30, GBP at 10:30, or USD at 3:45 p.m. This is how we do filter the news events. And here you will see the details about the particular news, and this is the number, the actual value. These are shown after the news release. Before the news release, this number here, it is empty. What we see, if you do remember, I told you what we call a consensus, the number which is the economists, according to how they see economy, they fix just to show how the news will have the impact. Let's say an example of this flash service PMI on USD, which happened some hours ago. It means that last month, the value of this news was 47.3, and today the consensus was 49.8. This was showing that if really the news could hit this value or up, this means that USD could increase value. And this clearly tells that the USD could increase value. Therefore, the currency pair where USD are base currency, it could increase in value. Therefore, you could buy these currencies, and the market where the USD is quote currency, they could lose value. So therefore, let's see what's happened after news. You see that sometimes the market will not follow the consensus. The actual outcomes of the news was smaller than consensus, as you can see it. This means that the USD has lost the value instead of increasing the value. And let's see how it had the impact it had on the market. Let's take an example of USD card, for example, here. USD card. And let's go on a lower time frame. You see the news has been released at, you see here the before, if you remember what the news has been released at 3:45 p.m. and the outcome was lower than the consensus value. And remember details, you could see the details here. This was the news released by the market, latest release. You can see the details regarding this news. And this is the results, the outcome of this news for the last months from March to July. From these data, we could use them. What's the concern do you have now? It is this what's happened after the news release. It was at 3:45. If you go to live chat at 3:45, when the market was, the news was released, so the price was 30.45. The price was here at 3:45 today. You see that after the news, since the news could not even hit the consensus, it has even dropped below the consensus. You see how the market USD card could continue to drop down since USD has lost value. So you clearly say that if you knew how to use this data as the news release, we could have been made a profit of about 49 pips after the news release. This is how we use the news to trade the market. So this is how we do use the economic calendar to filter the news which will happen in a particular day. You now even I can see what will happen in the upcoming months. If you hit on the more, you can see what will be coming in the different times. And here it is the news we invited you to attend. It is on the 2nd of September. This is the news we will be trading. There is an NFP, an unemployment change. This is the news which tend to move the market. So we will trade this news on the 2nd of September. And we will do a live streaming just to show you how we do it on the live market. But today we are going to use the news which happened on 5th of August, just to show you how the market has moved and to show you in practical how everything we had taught you in a theory like that. You see, on 5th of August, there was the same news, non-farm employment change and employment rate. This USD and USD card at 2:30 p.m. there was this news. So if you could have been new this, how this news, I hope and you know now how we can filter and check this news release. Now we are going to show you how this market, this news has impacted the market and how we could get profit from this news just in a short time. Let's say I decided to trade USD CAD. So just to show you how we could set, we are going to want to show you how do we set, we trade with directional bias or non-directional bias, whatever you choose. We're going to show you two cases, and we are going to go back in this particular time of 5th of August at 2:30, because that is where we had the news. If you were non-directional news traders, of course you do remember that this information was not available. This was the news release. Before the news release, these data are 0. Let's say I wanted to trade USD CAD because it was both newses. So let's say if I go to non-farm employment change, you see that in the previous month, in August, the mark US has been produced 309,980,000 jobs, and due to the economists, they was supposing that USD will lose value. It will lose value because the number of jobs that was supposed to be created in the previous and in that particular month was supposed to drop from 398K to 250K. This means that the US dollar could lose value. Therefore, USD CAD could decrease. So, if you are directional bias, you will trade based on this consensus. This means that you are going to sell Euro USD CAD. Remember, you can take now any pair which includes USD or CAD, or you can trade USD CAD, because once the news is released with a particular currency, all the currencies which contains that particular currency will be impacted. Now let's go to the real chart and show you how you could trade this market if you were directional bias trader. So remember, we do set our buy stop 3 minutes before the news release, which means here it was at 2:26. So we have to set our entries at 3 minutes before, which it was supposed to be at 2:30 p.m. As you see, the current price at that time was 1,228.81. So this clearly means that it was going to be the stop loss 1 and the stop loss for, okay, this was going to be, since we are starting with directional bias, this means that it was going to be our stop loss. Therefore, we had to set our stop loss here. This was going to be our stop loss at 1,228.81. And as I said, we need to measure 12 pips and set our stop, our sell stop. Remember, you are directional buyers, and you have seen that according to the consensus of the market, USD is going to drop. Therefore, you had to set to sell. Therefore, you measure 12 pips. You measure 12 pips and you set your sell stop. Something I forgot to tell you is that since we manage the market in 60 minutes, we trade this strategy on 1 minute time frame. So what we have to do is to measure 12 pips, which is on 2867, and set our stop loss there. If you are using advanced charting tools like TradingView, for example, you can, there are even a tool which you can use. Therefore, you could set your stop loss here and measure 12 pips. On MT4, we are going to show you how we do this on a layer chart. So 12 pips, this was supposed to be our stop loss. And if you remember well, we do not need to set the stop loss. We do not need to set the take profit, since we do exit after 60 minutes of news release. After this, what you have to do is to wait only 3 minutes and see where the market go. So here it is 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You see the news has moved up, which means that you could miss this trade, this good trade, because the consensus was long. USD has gained the value instead of losing the value, because if you go to the true value, US has managed to create 528k jobs, which is greater than the consensus, and that is why USD has gained the value. Sorry if you are directional bias trader. So now let's show you how you can capture this high volatility of the news, whether the market moves up or down. It is using the second technique, which is the non-directional bias. Let's go back at 3 minutes before the news release. So what you simply need to do is to measure 12 pips 3 minutes before the news release, and set your stop loss there, 12 pips there. Because what the market could do, it is to move up or down. So the current price, if you remember, will be your stop loss for buy stop and for sell stop. So this is 12 pips. So this clearly means that you are going to set your sell stop there. This will be your sell stop, which is just 12 pips from the current price, as we illustrated it in our previous video. Sorry. So from the current price to the sell stop must be 12 pips, if you do remember well. This one has to be 12 pips. And then you will measure 12 pips again from the current price and set your buy stop there, which is here. So it is the current price plus 12 pips. So this is 12 pips again. And remember, we said this has to be 12 pips. 12 pips. And this will be stop loss for buy stop and stop loss too for sell stop. And remember, we said if you are trading GBP USD, you will not measure 12 pips, you will measure instead 16 pips. Because the market GBP is very volatile, and sometimes we have seen it in the disadvantage of news trading. The market could move up and down in different directions. So to avoid the loss which could be caused by this volatility of GBP USD, we need to make sure that the news is strong to push up to 16 pips. So after you set this one, and then if you remember well, this has to be set. So remember, what the market could do, whether the news it is good or bad, it will push the price up or down, and that is the best way of trading with directional, non-directional bias, because wherever the market goes, it will find you. So whether it moves up, it will hit your buy stop, or if it moves it down, it will find your stop loss, and you are in the market and you are ready to go and make the profit. The disadvantage of this trading technique, but it doesn't occur many times. Sometimes the market can trigger your buy stop, because the market tends to have a very huge volatility. It can hit your buy stop, and before you cancel your sell stop, it trigger also your sell stop. You see, this buy stop will be a loss, and of course you will get some profit maybe on the sell stop. In very rare case also, it can even comes back and lose buy and sell stop, and that is why we need always to make a risk management. You see, if you have risked the 1% for buy stop and the 1% for sell stop, for sell stop, you only risk the 2% of your capital. Even though it hit both stop losses, you will only lose 2% of a trading account. It doesn't not happen often, but it may happen. It is the only disadvantage of this trading technique. So remember, this setup needs to be done before 3 minutes before news release, and as you see, it was at 2:27 p.m. on the 5th of August 22. So now what we had to do is to wait how the news has reacted on the price. So as now, let's do a replay to show you what's happened. Now it's 28 minutes, 29, 30, boom. You see how the market has moved? So it was very strong. It moved up and triggered our buy stop. Therefore, if the news moves up like this, all you have to do it is to immediately cancel the sell stop. And 60 seconds, you see the 1 minute which followed these minutes, the market has not pushed the market. So after 60 seconds, you see we were managed to make a profit of about 38 pips just in 1 minute. So after 60 seconds, you cancel your profit, and then you take the money you had. And after that, of course, the market has continued to move, and you see it has pushed it down. If you are not an experienced trader, you can lose money, and if you are experienced trader, you see the market has continued to move the up. But this is another technique. We will see that how we can use these techniques to trade after the news. This is what we wanted to show you. I hope you enjoyed this practical example of news trading, and you managed to get the information and to prepare yourself for the trading of news. Remember, news happens nearly every day. So if you know this strategy, it is enough to make even some money in Forex trading. Tell us in the comment below of this video, and tell us how you find this first strategy you become to learn about Forex trading, and tell us how you think, what you think about it, and whether you are going to use it or not. And if you missed anything, we will be very happy to give you further explanations. So let's wind up this second part of our news trading strategy here. Remember, on the 2nd of September, we will have NFP news. We are going to do a live streaming on our YouTube channel to show you now how the market, we are going to trade this news on a live trade on the live account, and we'll show you how much we will make with this news. Whether we are going to get money or lose money, no one knows. We will see. Then we invite you to trade, to attend this live event which will happen. Please mark it on your calendar. But before you leave with this video, if you are new, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when this live event will be scheduled. And hit the like button to support our YouTube channel with YouTube algorithm. And don't forget to share this golden information with your friends and the family, so that they may have also the second source of income, or the first income if they are even jobless up to now. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.